Good morning, good morning. Good morning from Bangkok, Thailand. Sawadee krap. Sabay di mai krap. Or as I learned it first, sabay di rupao. Sabay di ruplao. Very dead in here at the moment. That'll change in a little bit, but I got some errands to run, so figured, hey, why not? If you got any questions, please feel free to send them to me. It's a beautiful day here. Sunny. Very warm, like always. I don't know how warm. Unless it's brutal to the point where I don't want to be out, I don't usually check now how hot it is. I just know it's hot. It's always warm. It's warm enough to where if you walk for more than 10, 15 minutes, you're going to be sweating your ass off. But very nice day today. Let's see, it doesn't really focus on the sky, but maybe you can see it. Very nice day. We have the usual baristas, beer and what's her name? Preo. They're working. Very helpful as always. Not that I needed any help, I got water. Already had a double espresso at home. Good morning, good morning, good morning everybody. I already had a double espresso at home, so I don't want another one. Trying to cut back on the espresso a little bit. I don't need 4 double espressos a day, which is about what I'll drink if I'm allowed 4 or 5 a day. maybe not 5, but at least 3 or 4. So I'm trying to cut back to like 1 or 2. So I want to say thank you to all my Patreon patrons. Johnny, what's happening? Johnny, what's going on? Patreon patrons, all those who support the channel in any way, thank you very much. It almost seems, I want to say, normal here. If it weren't for these and the hand gel everywhere, and if it weren't for the restrictions to come in to Thailand, it would be business as usual. Johnny Siam, thank you very much. Hopefully you got to see that Koh Lan video. And I do have some other clips going up, but because of the music and everything, they muted the stream, so I couldn't put it up. But yeah, hopefully you get a chance to see that. Thank you very much, Choke D. Yeah, everything's good. All is well. I'm trying to figure out listen, it seems like now my wife is more, she has never been this way, to where when I went somewhere, she wants to go too. She's never really been like that. She's been okay with me traveling around. At first it was photography and writing. She was okay with it. She never really, every once in a while she'd say, oh, you think I could go with you? And most of the time I'd say, no, I'm working. I don't have to wait for you. And when you got your wife going with you somewhere, if you're trying to get something done, like a job, like I'm going to photograph a fight, or I was going to photograph some destination or something like that, I move at my own pace. I want to go when I want to go, and I don't want to have to wait for anybody. So most of the time she wouldn't go with me. And that was okay with her. And now she's more like, she wants to get away. I think it's that she's working and she's busy, and she likes to take a break just like anybody else. So I'm looking for a place to go with her, and also by myself. I've got a couple places on the list that are higher up. I was thinking of going to the Mahanakon Tower again, because it's been a while since I went there, and I'm sure there's some new people who would like to see it from my perspective. I'm trying to figure out how to do the stream. I really would like to do the streaming where I can oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm going to be redoing the merch because there's some things about the way that it's set up that because I'm using Teespring. I used to use a place called Print Aura, and it was very good, but yeah, I mean, it was good, and it is good. I said, why, as I put up with you every day. Yeah, I mean, it's a little different, though, when you get away and you're in a different, changing the environment is important. And it does, for me, it does wonders. That's why I come to Starbucks. I know it's not, oh, well, thank you very much, Paulie. I saw that I sold one of those. Most of the shirts that I sell are an American in Bangkok shirt, or Bar Girl Lives Matter. What's the other one? What's the other one? That I Don't Hate People. That one sells pretty well. I got a letter. People are starting to forget about that a little bit. But thank you. Anyway, I got stuff on the agenda. I was going to go down to Ratchada, but I woke up real early today. I went out for a walk at like 5 in the morning. I'm like, I'm not streaming at 5 in the morning. And now I got a couple errands to run. Friday starts I can't believe I'm getting excited about this, but Friday starts the black, it's called Black Weekend here. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 days where everything in the mall, in the mall department store, is up to 50% off. So there's all kinds of stuff I want to get. There's shirts I want to get that, normally they're $50, now they're 25. There's some shoes I want to get, they're like $60. With the little discount that I get, they might be like $20. I hate paying top dollar for sandals. It just seems like a waste of money because I wear them out really, really quick. So I can't believe I'm excited for this weekend. I'm like, I want to get some of these things, and I'm like, oh, I have to wait. Because the discount, you get a 50% discount off of something. That's a pretty nice little chunk. So maybe I'll go to Ratchada tomorrow. I don't know. This is my issue. I have an issue of planning. I don't like to plan and then actually do everything. Well, Friday I'm going here. Monday I'm going there. Wednesday I don't do that, and I don't do it very well. Maybe it's a flaw, but I look at it as, it's what adds adventure to my life. I wake up and I go, I'm going to go to this place. Anyway. Thanksgiving in America, we won't be, I don't think my kids are even, I don't think they even remember that Thanksgiving is coming up. So I'll have to remind them. We're not going to go anywhere for sure. There's no way. We're not going out for some Thanksgiving dinner, So now I'm pretty much completely like a Thai as far as holidays go. I almost never remember banking holidays in the United States or, big holidays, even Christmas. Christmas is a little easier to remember. 2020 has been a pretty shit year. I don't know any other year in my life that's been as bad as this. And I've had a couple bad years in my life. But this one, let's just hope that next year is better. For all the talk in the United States about the economy bouncing back, and it's the best economy that we've ever had. I don't see it. But then I'm here, so. Klong Ong Eng. No, I don't know of it. I've been to just about every market, but that one sounds like a place I've never been, so maybe that's a good place to go. I hate to sound lazy. I really do. But when you tell me, hey, will you go to CASHAPP Market? God, do you know how many times I've been there? And I know it's not for me, but it's just so, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. It's just very difficult for me to get amped up about going to CASHAPP or going to the Grand Palace or, it's just, I have to go somewhere new. And fortunately, the SkyTrain is progressing nicely here. So hopefully that will help, because right now the big thing is You want to go anywhere? Listen, I thought about going down to Ramkhameng today, and I thought, Jesus Christ, if I go any later than 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be jam-packed into the boat. I'm going to be sweating my ass off just to get to Asok. Then when I get to Asok, I'm going to have to walk over, and the place isn't even open. It won't even be open for a couple of hours, so I'll be sitting around. I'm like, you know, sometimes I think that the streaming, while it can be good in spurts and for the right situation, even if you just want to talk to people, like now, if people have questions, they want to ask you questions, because I noticed that some people come in and they ask me questions, and I'm like, I'm in the middle of doing something else, I'm not going to answer the question. You know, the, hey, how's Thailand doing right now? That kind of question, you know. All right. There we go. Gennaro, if you're listening, there she is, your dream girl. This is Gennaro's dream girl. She's got all of them. She's cute, man. She's a cute girl. I mean, you know, listen, I won't steer you wrong. I won't steer you wrong, and I err on the better side of judgment. You know, if she's cute, I'll say she's cute. If I say, you know, maybe you guys might, and I've found this to be true. A lot of guys, they're like, oh my God, she's so awesome. Oh, she's so, like the girl at the Hooters. You know, if you've been here and you've, you know, yeah, there you go. But, you know, like the girl at the Hooters, you know, she wasn't all that. I mean, granted, okay, she'd be fun. But if she would, listen, I can tell you from just being there for the time that I was, that girl would irritate the hell out of me. Now, you know, people in general tend to irritate me, so that's not really saying that much, but she wasn't all that. You know what I mean? You get some, you know, pretty girl that's at a big, you know, convention or something like that, and she's a top-notch pretty girl, not like one of these ones who's standing in the mall saying, hey, you know, now buy underwear for 30% off or something like that. I'm talking about a big place. It's a big high-dollar event. Now, those are generally very good-looking girls. Never fails talking about women. Never fails. No ticky, no laundry. No money, no honey. That's how it works. Gennaro, we got the A-team, baby. We got the A-team. We got Preo and Beer, your favorites. You know, I don't know what, I guess, yeah, you know, if you look over to the right, it's hard to see it, but you see all the bags there up against the window. Those are all grab orders, and like she was saying yesterday, I forget how many she said they get, 200 to 300 or something like that, grab orders. So they're very busy, even though there's not many people in here. I mean, everybody here is sitting drinking, like I'm drinking a water. You got ladies over there drinking tea, a coffee. It's not like they're rushing around helping the people here. They're filling those grab orders. And I thought about going down to Roots again today, but you know, the bad thing about Roots early in the morning is there's nowhere to sit because the inside is not open. So I'm looking for some places to go, especially just some coffee shops where we just maybe do a little walk around and have a sit down. Awesome, you will check what? Check my website. Okay. And I did ask. I said, "Is there a reason why you have to play the same music every single day?" Yeah, they tell us what to play, and we have to play it. They don't change. It stays the same because most people, well, the majority of people are not coming here every single day or 5 times a week. And the only reason I'm coming here, I don't know how much is an iced espresso. The smallest one is 140 baht, which is like what, $4.65, and the most expensive one is 170, which is almost $6, $5.65. But you get some of those other drinks, and they're 210 baht. Yeah, I mean, listen, I agree with you. I will say that the Cafe Amazon coffee is not, I don't think that Starbucks coffee is great, but it's okay. And Amazon coffee is okay also, but it's a little bit below Starbucks coffee. It's a little dirtier, a little earthier. And this past week I went to the grocery. I go to the grocery almost every day because now I'm on this. I'm eating. I've already dropped 2.2 kilos in the last about 9 days. So I'm going out every day and I'm getting like fresh vegetable and like trap cracks. Yeah, it's exactly what they're like. And that's why I'm kind of like I kind of want to whittle my espresso down to when do I really need an espresso? Do I really need it when I wake up? No, not really. I don't. Do I need it in the middle of the day? Sometimes, because I start wearing down 2-3 o'clock. I need the old man nap. If I hit the espresso, then it's I'm okay. But I went out this week and went to the grocery, and usually when I come and I'm buying every day, I'm buying 3-4 things. Like, I'm very proud of myself, I have to say. And I'm thinking that I'm gonna start doing some kind of cooking on my channel, just like with my wife's what was that stuff, kung tang or whatever. I'm gonna do some kind of cooking, whether it's Thai or something else. Last night, I bought some chicken breasts and some cheese and some ham, and pounded out the chicken breast, rolled up the cheese and the ham inside the chicken breast, and baked it, drizzled a little butter, a little garlic on there, baked it up, made some rice for the kids, got some nice beans, put that on the side, and they had a little chicken cordon bleu, which I don't usually make, but it came out very, very good. I was very proud of myself because I don't usually get that involved with the cooking, but I'm thinking about doing some kind of little cooking thing, where I throw something together, or I make some Thai dish or something like that. Did I have fun in Pattaya? It was all right. I'm glad, listen, I went there for a day and then I come back. That's fine for me. The next day I came back. 1 night, 2 nights, it's plenty. 3 days, 2-3 days is plenty of time for me there. And yeah, I love breast too. Who doesn't love breasts? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, most of the time I'm saying it's just like, and you know, the thing is, too, is that if you know, if you were going, let's say that you, it's a different environment. That's all. And you know, for me, I know there's things to do, but I wasn't going to go fishing. You go by yourself. Fishing's a bit expensive. I went to go to Koh Lan. I went there, been there, done that. Right. I'm glad I went. It was, you know, was Koh Lan awesome? It would have been better if I had my kids with me, had the old lady with me. So maybe I should have told the old lady she could have went, but I didn't. Yeah, I couldn't see myself retiring in Pattaya because it would get on my nerves. And, you know, like Robert, we were talking about this, the guy Robert who lives there, and he's lived there for, I think, 6 years. And he's got a girlfriend, you know, so when he goes out to the bars, he doesn't even drink. He just goes to, you know, have fun and look around and stuff. And see, for me, I hate to keep saying this, but, you know, Thailand is my home. This is where I live. And, like I said, in a few years, I'll have been here half of my life. That's a long time. It's like if I was living at the Florida Keys. Would I want to live in a tourist area? No. I want to live somewhere in the Keys where, you know, you're surrounded by people who live there. They don't just come and visit all the time. And thus, especially in Thailand, you got all the touts, you got everything geared towards money, 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 money. And it's not even that, because I understand when you're going places want to make money. But like, I don't really drink that much. I'm not going to go to the, if I lived in Pattaya, I wouldn't want to go to the bars, because every time you go to the bar, it's like, okay, what are you going to drink? Oh, I'll have a Red Bull. Oh, I'll have a Pepsi. I'll have a water. I mean, you know, you want to go and have a water, that's fine. You want to go and you want to drink a Pepsi, it's not good, right? A Red Bull, okay, once in a great while, all this stuff is fine. But, you know, I'd rather just drink a beer if I'm going to be at a bar. Now, if I'm going to be at a bar and I'm going to drink a beer, hey, why not have 3 beers? And then before you know it, you know, it's a habit. And I don't, but, you know, like, props to Robert, who, he lives there and he doesn't drink, you know, which is good. Yeah, the fishing is always great. And listen, Charles, I love Bali. Bali, to me, is fantastic. However, I will say this. I can see where it could get on your nerves, you know. I mean, listen, Soy 6 is a shithole, in my opinion. I'd rather go somewhere like Koh Koot. I'd rather go somewhere like Chiang Rai, Koh Koot. You know, Phuket has a lot of beautiful places there where it's not only about tourism. And, you know, there's just so many places you can go. And but you know, if you want to just come, you know, hey, you know what? I'm going to Thailand. I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to get laid. Okay, Pattaya is a great place. But that's just not my lifestyle. Any recommendation on places to retire in Thailand? Well, you can always live in Bangkok. And the thing is, there are places in Bangkok that are relatively quiet. I wouldn't call my village real quiet, but it's not like I'm living on Sukhumvit Road, you know. If you want to live on an island, there's plenty of islands. Krabi, nice place. That's not an island, but you can get to all the islands from there. You know, personally, I like Suratani, but that's because I've been there, I know it. It's where my wife comes from. I'm very comfortable there. Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai, you know, yeah, I could live there. Yeah, you live on a big island. I could live in Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai. I wouldn't want to live like in Chiang Mai City, in the center of where everything is, because it's a tourist area. I didn't, and I say this all the time, and I know, you know, some people may not like it, and oh well. I didn't come here to hang out with foreigners. It's very nice when, here she comes with her bad shirt, with her bad jacket on. There's your girl, Gennaro. Bad. She's a bad girl. I didn't come here to, you know, like live amongst the expats, which is what you do in Pattaya and in places in Phuket and Chiang Mai. It's not what I wanted. You know, not that I have anything against foreigners, but when I came here for the adventure. That's the whole thing. I came here for the adventure. If I'm hanging out with my buddies all the time, my Western buddies, it's because we're going to go experience someplace. Like when I went with Longhorns and we went to Cambodia, that was fun. That was great, you know. Where's she going? You know, but listen, if I had to come to Starbucks every day and I had to like sit and talk to Tom every single day, I probably wouldn't come every day. No offense to him. You know, I'd rather be alone. And one thing that I'll say is that some of the better streams and better videos I've done have been when I'm interacting with the locals, the natives. That's, for me, that's why I moved to Asia. I wanted to experience it the way the Asians experience it, the way the Thais experience it, the Indonesians, Cambodians. I want to experience it like them. I don't want to be, you know, going to Ripley's Believe It or Not. If I wanted to do that, I'd do that somewhere else, you know. It's a nice change of pace sometimes. That's my point. She's trouble. Yeah, they're all trouble, buddy. I hate to tell you. Think about something. Even when you're alone, you're hanging out with yourself, sometimes you're trouble. So add in another person into the equation, double trouble. I've been thinking a lot about going to Ayutthaya or Sukhothai. Ayutthaya I could leave early in the morning, get there, do a stream, do a walk around, chill out for the afternoon, do a stream or a video or something like that in the afternoon, and then come back and be back by 7, 8 o'clock at night. So it's a good place. I haven't been there in a while. And right now, the beauty is there's not all that many foreigners. So if you're gonna go to a tourist area, you get to experience it sans foreigner, you know. I mean, I'd like to know, out of all the guys in the stream that are regulars, how many of them are free, are open enough and willing to admit, hey, the only reason I come to Thailand is for the women. No other reason. Anybody? I'm sure that if Mr. Monash was here, he'd probably admit to it. He'd fess up. The food. You know, this is the thing. The food and the women and the reasonable cost of living will draw you here. But not one of them is enough to keep you here. You know, I mean, what I mean is, okay, it's different if you're married, then that kind of keeps you here. You're like, you know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna live in, you know, New York while your wife lives here and she's not gonna come over to the States for another 4 or 5 years? No. The women, the food, the women, yeah. Well, I'm here for the squat toilets. That's what I'm here for. Actually, I'm here for the bum gun. I enjoy the spray. That's my reason. When I first came here, you know, I came here because I had been going to the Netherlands. All right, I'll get into a little story here. When I first came here, the reason that I came here was I had traveled enough at that time to where I was comfortable to come here. For 5 years or so, I go to the south of the Netherlands, to Breda. Actually, I may go to Pattaya next week. There's a coffee shop there, a very old coffee shop. I might go there just to have a coffee there and stream from there. I forget the name of it, but it's been there for 114 years or so. But, you know, it's a bit of a haul for me to go there just for that, so I need to find some other reasons to go. Man. The air is still very filthy right now. But, you know, I had traveled a bit, and I went to the Netherlands. I used to go there every year at Thanksgiving. I take a couple of weeks of vacation time in conjunction with the holiday, and usually we had a full week, so I would take 2 or 3 weeks along with the week that we'd get off because of the holiday. So I'd take about a month, 3 weeks to a month off, and I'd go there, and you know, I would go there and train in Muay Thai. But I was already, you know, I was about 27, 28 when I first started going there. 26 maybe, 27. And so, you know, by the time I had gone there for 4 or 5 years, after the 5th year, I was kind of like, I'm going to go somewhere different. And all they talked about was, hey, how great going to Thailand was and all the advantages. I was like, what advantages? And they were like, the women. It's like icing on the cake. You get great training there. Well, I came here to come training, and I found the nightlife and the women, and I knew, listen, these guys here, when you start doing something when you're 4 or 5 years old, 7 years old, and you've been training, you know, twice a day, 2-3 hours a session, by the time you get to be 17, 18, you know, you're pretty skilled, you're talented. And I realized, man, I'm gonna if I fight here against the wrong guy, I'm gonna get the holy shit beat out of me. I wasn't that good. I wasn't that talented. I didn't start it when I was younger. I wasn't as committed as I could have been. So then the next thing I know, I'm like, hey, you know what? I like this place, but I like it for you know, the vibe, the atmosphere. You know, that's why I came when I did. Had I come when I was 25 or something like that, I probably would have went nuts. I went nuts anyway. You know what I mean? I went nuts in the beginning anyway. I didn't know my ass from a hole in the ground. You know, and the only thing you really had to, back then, almost 30 years ago, the only thing you really had to guide you were the other expats or the other visitors, you know, who would say, hey, you better not do this, you better remember this, you know. Now everybody's got the internet. You can figure everything out right on the internet, you know. No, I don't train anymore. I can't. My body can't handle it anymore. I mean, I could probably go and just, you know, lightly hit the pads and shadow box and stuff like that. I can't kick because of my hip. I could kick with one leg but not the other. But, you know, then the whole thing about throwing knees and then stepping and doing all that, it's not good for my hip. You know, boxing's a little different. You know, I had my time. I had my time in the sport. I got more involved than I ever thought I would. And you know, when I worked as a photographer and photojournalist, and as somebody who was a coordinator and a trainer and stuff like that, that was more than I ever dreamed of doing. I was lucky to do that, you know. You know, I could get a heavy bag or something, but when I leave here, I won't have anything to come back to. The time comes, I will sell it. A lot of guys do that, you know. And that was something that I think, had I continued to work in the United States for, say, and I really cracked down, I'd say in anywhere from 5 to 10 years, I could have bought myself a house. I could have rented it out a little bit. I could have flipped it, but I chose not to do that, you know. I was like, I need to get out there and go on an adventure. I still feel that way, but I mean a real adventure. I'm not talking about some half-ass, you know, hey, I'm going to go to the Wat Po today. I'm going to take a boat down the Chao Phraya. That shit's tame, you know. It may not be for somebody back in the States that, you know, hasn't traveled, or some young guy. They're like, oh, I really want to see this place or that place, or I want to go to Siem Reap. You know, I want to check out Bali, eat, love, pray. You know, that shit's boring. I want to go where, like, you know, I'm in a car, and if I step out, some lion might eat me. That's an adventure. Or I'm going down a boat, and if the boat capsizes, I'm screwed. Some croc's gonna take me down. A lot of people out today. There's a lot more people than there were yesterday. Oh, man. Should have had another coffee. I should go get one. $5. Oh, shit. It's an adventure. Alright, should I get a coffee? Wake me up a little bit? I'll wait for beer to come back. Man, they're making a killing off the grab. I'm gonna overpay again for an espresso here. Now that was Bunkan. Nong Khai came afterwards. That was Bunkan. That was fun. That was an adventure, yes. I don't get adventures like that very often. And you know, you kind of I gave that up, and this one. I did that in Florida when I was younger. Fucking dangerous. Especially if you're spelunking with the barista. But you know, the thing is, sometimes you know, like I didn't know that temple was going to be that gnarly. I mean, I was scared shitless because I know what it's like to fall and get busted up and be in a hospital for a month, and you know, I still remember it. I still have physical reminders of, you know, when that happened to me. So when I was up there and I'm on that wood, I was shitting bricks. I'm thinking this thing, I don't know, you know, in my opinion, whoever made that had to have been on acid or something. Because how would you have thought of doing that? Oh, why don't we just build a slide on the side of the Empire State Building or some shit like that? That was an adventure. I don't know. He's, you know, I think he's getting ready to get out of Dodge. You know, this is something else I was going to say. Listen, you know, we got regulars here. There have been regulars here who have been coming, who've been on here for years, and they go through cycles. You know, like when I talk to Jono tells me sometimes, you know, sometimes I listen. Because, but I don't feel like I have anything to add. Same thing with Fidelity Quester. Same thing with Longhorns. You know, after a while, when you've heard me talk, you know, you've heard me say a lot of the same things over and over again. You know, every morning in this shithole state, I wake up with reminders of past injuries. Well, it doesn't matter where you are; you're still going to wake up with reminders of those past injuries. You know. For me, the way that I think is I need to do a few things I want to do before I'm too old and I'm incapable of doing them, and I'm already at that point. But, you know, the older I get, the harder things can be. But they do make some good drugs. I'm going to go get a coffee. Bacon is satisfying. Not good for me, though. Ever since I started on this Mediterranean diet and I'm eating a lot more salad, a lot more veg, little bit of fruit, I haven't had any problem with my where my gallbladder was before with my bile duct. Haven't had any problems at all. I feel great now. It's in the Trot area, Tempona Hill. Well, Mr. Longhorns and I and one other guy went to the Prairie, and that was 2,000, I think 544 steps or something like that. Well, this is not really keto or intermittent fasting. It's more, you know, the stuff that's been, it's part of the Blue Zone and the Mediterranean diet and all that kind of thing. You know, like yesterday I had, what did I have for dinner? An avocado and some vegetables. Like, you scoop out the avocado and then you put the vegetables. Thank you. And then for lunch I had a salad with this stuff that you get at the market, and it's like quinoa, and you know, like little things, little other veggies. I put in a little bit of what do you call it? God damn it! It's the little red thing. It's the little they make. It's a red juice. I forget what it is. Now I'm gonna be pissed off. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, have that with a little bit of some sardines mixed together. Very, very good. Damn it, I can't remember the name of that fruit. What's the fruit? It's on the inside it's red and it's like little tiny berries, like about that big. P-A-P-O-P-I-P-U. Can't remember. That's what happens when you get old. Check this article. You know, one of the first pomegranate. Thank you very much. I don't know why I can't remember. There you go. Beetroot juice. No, thank you. Anyway, you put a little bit of pomegranate. You got your little olive oil. Ah, man, it's you know, I'm done eating that, and I'm like, awesome. You know, as opposed to having, you know, fried noodles or something like that. Cheers. Listen, I wanted to ask a question, or questions. It is Q&A. You guys can ask questions, but, you know, most of the time people just want to talk about women. I'm wondering what people think is the ideal length of a live stream. Oh yeah, I threw a little of the mandarin oranges in there too. Just 2. This is 2 ounces. This is a double espresso. If I wanted, I could have like a, what do you call it? A quadruple, or what would be a 5? Quintuple? I don't know how you would say it in figures. You come on right when we're talking about length. Well, a short shot is 2 ounces. A shot is 1 ounce. That's a single shot is 1 ounce. A double shot, 1 long is 60 millimeters. Yeah, but that's not how they do espressos. Look up espresso and you'll see that there's a solo, which is 1 ounce. If you look it up from how it's made in Italy, a solo is 1 ounce, a doppio is 2 ounces, a triple is 3 ounces. So I don't know how that translates into milliliters. 30 is 1 ounce. Okay. 3 hours, Jesus Christ. 1.5 to 2 hours, but depends on the chat. Yeah, okay. See, if I'm sitting here like this, I think 1.5 hours is probably, I've never heard it ordered long here. Never heard that. I've had Cubano, yeah, actually I was talking about that the other day. We went to, what was the name of it? Wynwood Walls. It's where they have all the graffiti on the wall. They actually pay artists to come and paint the wall, and they change it up every couple of months. And then they have an indoor area. But anyway, next to Windward Walls is Little Cuba, Little Havana. And so when we went there, we went out for Cuban food. But before we went there and after the meal, we had Cuban coffee. And it's just in a little tiny paper cup, but it's so strong. It was so good. You've been to Cuba? Yeah, I kind of would like to go. A Doppio long espresso. A Doppio is considered a double espresso, which is 2 ounces. At least that's what I've always read and always heard, and that's what I believe, but what do I know? As much as I like espresso, and I've got into it a little bit, I'm not a barista. Ugh, Gennaro. First of all, she's busy as always. She's always busy. The best time to catch her is very, very early in the morning before I even start streaming. That's the best time to talk to her. With Preo, it's just a matter. She's really just she just works the register and she makes the coffee up. So with her, it's whenever. Oh, I see. Didn't know that. I did not know that. I don't know here if I told her I want a long espresso, if she would know what I mean. I will go ask her. Just about the espresso question. I'll go ask her right now, but I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to go walking up there like a perv. I feel like I've been perved enough. So there, you can look at her. She's over there. I'm going to go ask her. It's good I didn't bring the camera up there. She said something about that the long is like an Americano. It's like 8 ounces of water. I don't know. I have to look up everything so I know what I'm talking about when I ask her about the question. 30 millimeters. See, I don't know in ounces, how much is 60 milliliters? Right, if it has more water, it's an Americano. She said 8 ounces is a long. It's more water, it becomes an Americano. That's what I just said. Yeah, but a double espresso is 14 grams of coffee and 2 ounces of water. Okay? That's a double espresso. I'm going to have to research all this and look it up because, you know, I'm not getting the whole gist of this. Because if you put 8 ounces of water in something, it's an Americano. That's what she said. It's an Americano. And 12 ounces of hot water. Okay. So that's, or 14 ounces. She said 8 ounces. So 8 ounces and 2 ounces is 10 ounces. I don't know. See, this is the thing. She wasn't very clear. And I'm not clear. I'm in a fog. Once I just look it up online and I see it, then I'll say, oh, now I understand. That's 250 milliliters. That's an Americano. Okay. She does, actually. She does, and she has a Facebook. And so does Preo. So does she. Yes. She has one also. No. Not going to do that. Not going to happen. They'll barely give it to me. Would you maintain a bank account in Thailand if you did not live there? It depends on how much I visited. If I was visiting, you know, like once or twice a year, yeah, but I wouldn't leave a whole lot of money in it. I'd leave enough maybe to have some spending money for the next trip, but that's it. What do you mean it closes? What do you got, like a term account or something? If it's a term account, it just what do you call it? Renews every time. I don't understand why it's gonna end. My Bangkok bank closes after 1 year? I've never heard of that. Oh, 1 year of no use. So why don't you put a little money in it? All you gotta do is put a little money in it. Put, you know, 20 bucks in it if you can. Transfer some money. Not if you can prove it. If you update your, you know, you do have to update your bank books. That's the right way to do it. You update your bank books. You should update it at least once a month. But if you're not here, then that makes it difficult. But as long as you're putting money in the account, a little bit, you know, you put 20 bucks in there, 50 bucks in there. Yeah, but I'm saying to keep it open, just put a little something in, and you're not sure if you're going to be able to get in. I mean, I don't know. If you start to process to get in and everything with the virus and to be able to get into the country, you really need to contact your bank first so that they can set everything up, make sure that you get the right paperwork for your retirement. And, you know, you need to do it for a year. Well, actually, it's 3 months and 2 months, I believe. Which one is it? The 800,000 is for a year. But the marriage one is no. But you're allowed to. You have to keep the 300,000 in for 3 months, then 2 months, and you can go down to 400,000. I think that's how it works. I don't even remember, to be honest. What is this? I live in Los Angeles. Is it really as bad as everyone says? Thought I would build over time. I don't know that that's the way you want to do it. Yeah, I know. But unless you're putting in, if you put in over 65,000 a month, then that'll work too. 800,000. That's been what it for retirement. That's been what it is for years. At least 8 years. I can't remember when they changed it from like 500 or 600 to 800. But I would definitely set things up to where by the time you decide to move over here, you've got everything set up for your corona for the virus, so that you can come in, and obviously things can change, and that you'll have enough money to qualify. I think it's 3 months and 2 months after. You have to 2 months after, but you're allowed to go down to 400,000 now, at least for the United States. You're allowed to go down to 400,000, but then you need to have the 800 3 months before you renew. The other thing, Ray, is that you can check with the Washington D.C. embassy. And find out what the deal is now, because you're only going to get 3 months, and then you can extend from here. So the timing is important. As long as you have the money, then it doesn't really matter. But timing everything to when you move and how much time you have until you have to extend, and you can extend up to 1 month before the actual visa expires. I don't mind living here, but I'm looking to retire abroad in the next few years. The homeless situation has gotten out of control, and it is expensive to live in LA. I was thinking money security-wise. Well, I don't know how secure I'd feel about having a large sum of money here. Larger than, say, 800,000. I don't know that I'd feel all that secure. Personally, I feel more secure with the United States because it's my home country. And you hook up with the wrong woman or something like that. I don't know, it's, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of people who put their money here and they have no problems at all. Yeah, but that's only good for 9 months. That's not living here. What is it? 6 months and a 3 months extension, and that's a tourist visa. That's not somebody who's planning to live here. And despite what everybody says, Thailand is not the place where you want to try to become a tourist while you're living here. You don't want to come here and say, oh, I'm living here, but you're on a tourist visa. You don't want to do that anymore. You can change over, you can switch, and you can say, hey, I'm deciding to, why would you do that though? because of right now all the guidelines to get back into the country here. It makes it that's unreasonable. The multiple entry tourist visa, I believe, is a 6-month visa. It's you have to, maybe it's a 9-month or 6 months, and you can extend for 1 month. I think that's what it is. But you don't have to leave. You don't have to leave the country on that. I think that was one of the benefits. Well, that's the other thing, is that once the coronavirus is done, who knows what they're going to do with the guidelines, and if they're going to change them or make it easier, or they're just going to keep them in place or whatever, you know. But they've already made it more difficult for tourists to stay long term, and for people on education visas to stay long term. You know, and the thing is, it's not all that difficult. But for somebody who wants to live here on a tourist visa, and yet they really want to just live here, and they think they're going to get renewable tourist visa after renewable tourist visa, or they're going to go in and out of the country over and over again, those days are gone, man. I think it's 3 months, but then maybe you can get one extension on it. I don't know how they're doing it now, but it used to be that you could just do it for years. Now it's not the same, and they may test you. You know, they made it a little more difficult. They've tightened up the loopholes. It used to be you could just get a tourist visa for a year, and you could just keep renewing it for a year. Multiple entry. They didn't care. No longer. Yeah, well, it is. Most people, you know, if you come here once, or really a lot of Asia, if you're a Westerner and you go to Asia, it's an education. You're going to learn, you know, and it's not book smarts. You know, Cambodia has a different feel than Indonesia. Indonesia has a different feel than Malaysia. Malaysia has a different feel than Myanmar. You know, I've had basically every kind of visa except the B visa. I've had an M visa, an O visa, an OA visa, a tourist visa. And really, when you say, you know, like, oh, it's a spousal visa, you know, if you use the letter, it's better. Well, I agree. Exactly, Johnny. Lived in Asia 8.5 years. Media visa. Had a media visa for a long time. Do you know if there's an exclusion period where visa overstayers are banned from? Yeah, there is. If you get, and I don't remember the specifics at this point, but I believe it's, if you turn yourself in, it's something like 1 year, and if you get caught by them, it's like 3 years if you're within 1 month. And then, you know, for each period of time, the longer that you are overstayed, the longer you can't get back in. But if you turn yourself in, then that ban is less than if you get caught. Like, let's see, you know, somebody, you're walking down the street and there's a cop there and he goes, hey, you know, how you doing? What are you, where are you from? And he starts talking to you. Can I see your passport? And you show it to him and he goes, you're overstayed. You're screwed. And I used to have a little thing up on my website, a little graphic that tells people, you know, like, That's why I say there's no excuse for overstaying. None. Because you know why? It's not that I think that, because I understand shit comes up. You're like, but I can't get a flight on that day, or the flight's 20,000 baht instead of 10,000 baht. Well, some things do happen. You get injured, you go in the hospital. You're not sure what to do, and you're scared, and you don't say anything. But the thing is that the Thai immigration. You have to understand something. Thai immigration is just like going before a court. They don't care about all the fluff. Well, my wife, she was supposed to do something for me, and so I can get the money out, and she didn't do it, and and then I couldn't go in until Tuesday instead of Monday. Monday was my last day, and they don't give a shit about all that. They don't care. And the thing is, if you're gonna overstay, you need to go in and tell them, hey, today's my last day. I need an extension. What can I do? You need to go in and do that. You'll be better off than just saying, oh, well, screw it, I'm not going to tell anybody. I understand things happen, but they don't give a shit. I expected to have problems with immigration, dark-skinned person. Yeah, I've heard of a few. In fact, there was a guy that I used to meet up with. Every couple of days, I'd go to this one restaurant, and he'd be in there. He liked some girl. He was an old guy, and he had a heart attack. And I went in to visit the guy, and I thought he was okay. I thought, it wasn't that serious, but it was very, very serious. And he was in ICU, and I kind of just went in and went, oh shit, this is a lot more serious than I thought. He finally got out, and he said that he had a terrible time getting out because he had to transfer the money. He had to transfer the money from abroad, and he wasn't able to do it for like another 2 weeks, and they didn't want to let him out of the hospital and all this other bullshit. So yeah, I mean, and it's been in the news many times where guys, they get injured and stuff like that, and sometimes the insurance doesn't cover enough. It's a lot more serious than what your insurance will cover. And the older I get, that's more of a concern to me. I'm gonna have to do something and get and upgrade my insurance and get a much better policy in the next year or two. I've been meaning to do it for a while. I did get a little bit better policy, but we upgraded it a couple of years ago, and it's a little better. But when the kids finally start working and they get a job, hopefully they'll get a job where they have benefits and they're taken care of. That'll take some of the heat off of us. I've had a couple. Now I have Bupa. But I've had Bupa, I've had William Russell, and then I want this David Shield. It's pretty good. And they have you arrested if you don't have the funds or refuse to pay. Well, if you refuse to pay, I think that's different than if you don't have the funds. I don't think they can arrest you, but I think they can file a civil case against you and make your life extremely difficult. Like if you leave Thailand and they've got an open case against you, you might not be able to leave. The dream when the kids start working and take care of their parents. Well, I don't want them taking care of us. Unless it's absolutely necessary, or I'm an old man and I don't have my wife, or vice versa. And they take care in a different way, but 3 Grab drivers in here now. Yeah, good luck with that. There was a time when I was gonna sneak across the border in Mass Sot, so that I could go. There was a place I wanted to go with one particular guy, Burmese guy who I know him fairly well, and not Nanda, and basically I was going to have to hide in the trunk of the car. But we started figuring it out, even doing it that way, and with the risk of being caught and everything. It was just, it could have ended up costing a ton of money. So we decided not to do it. Well, I went to the Rohingya villages, and you know, when I was leaving the area that was mainly Burmese, and I was going into where the Rohingya were, the Burmese were saying things like, they're gonna cut your head off, you better not go there, it's dangerous, and all this. And I was like, bullshit. And it was bullshit. Just FYI, what? Just FYI. FYI what? Curious to know. They've had them going since the beginning of November. They start real early. And actually, I went into the Rohingya. I didn't see it. Let me see here. I didn't see anything from you, Steve. Read the previous chat. I didn't see anything. That you get shot going into the Rohingya villages? Is that what you're talking about, or did you write something else? Because if you wrote something else, it didn't come up. Ugh. I'm curious, Steve, about what you were talking about, because you don't usually say anything unless it's worthwhile. But as far as getting shot where the Rohingya were, I was in the Rohingya villages, well, one village in particular, I was there all day. However, I will say this. The first day that I went looking for the people that I was looking for, I was supposed to meet up with, who were Rohingya, I said something to the guy in the guest house, and then I went out and did my thing, and then the next morning I was sitting there, and by the government. Well, yeah, they do tend to, actually, right when I went there, they had burned down a village, like, I don't know how far it was, but it wasn't more than like half a mile away. They had a little village, and they had burned it down and killed something like 14 people or something, and a couple of them were kids. It was something like six or seven women, 4 or 5 kids, and then the rest were men. But I was sitting out having my breakfast at the guest house the next morning, and then some guy walks up and he starts talking to me. He goes, yeah, I heard you were looking for the Rohingya village or something like that. And I was like, well, who are you? And he wouldn't tell me. And then finally he just goes, yeah, I'm the police. He was asking me why I wanted to do that, why I wanted to go there. He was like, and you know, there's part of me, I wanted to tell him to fuck off. But I thought that wouldn't be too wise. And then he said, you're not allowed to go there. I said, okay. And so then when I was done, I went into my room, got all ready, and I left. And I took a little, like a tuk-tuk to the edge of the town. There was a little Wi-Fi place, a little hotel that had a little Wi-Fi place, a little internet place. I went there, sent some messages, and then I started walking. And I walked like 5 or 6 miles, which it sucked. And I finally ended up where these kids, they were young kids, teenagers. And I have video of it where they picked me up. And they were asking me, you know, hey, come to our village. I said, okay. Fortunately, you know, one of them spoke English and one of them spoke Thai. And so, you know, I went out there. But, you know, it can be a little unnerving. And when the military trucks were driving by with, you know, a big truck full of army guys, and I'm walking on the road and there's nobody out there and there's no trees, there's nothing to block me. They could see me full on. You know, I was wondering, are they going to stop and like roust me and throw me in the truck and say, you know, you come back to headquarters? You know. The old pilot can't get in. He's locked out. What is it? How did he get in at 10:30? Oh no, it's almost 11. Yeah, they're all waiting to get in. Anyway, there are some videos in the channel, in my channel. There's Burma videos, and some of them are from, you know, my time out there. Yes, definitely. And I don't like to. I've paid him here in Thailand. I paid him in Cambodia. Paid him in Cambodia for. I was driving a motorcycle back in Phnom Penh when they were still walking around with machine guns. This is about 25 years ago, and the police, you know, it was a known fact. The police would pull you over and they'd say, "Give me like $5." And so. I would, you know, after a while I got wise to it. And so what I did one of the times before I did what I'm going to say is I just said, listen, I'll give you $1 each. You can buy a Coke for each of you. You know, you want a Coke? Yes. All right, I'll buy you each a Coke. So they were like, okay. So they didn't write me up. They didn't arrest me. They didn't give me a ticket or anything. Then the next time when I saw them, as soon as I saw that they were out ahead, I just gunned it and flew right by them because I figured for a couple of dollars, they're not going to shoot me. They don't really care that much. They're not going to shoot me. It's not a big deal. And then from that point on, I never had a problem. Not there. Myanmar, paid bribes in Myanmar. Thailand, paid bribes in Thailand. Indonesia, never paid a bribe. Philippines, maybe, but it was, I don't think it was that big of a deal, but I'm trying to think where else. Yeah, but you know, I've been here a long time, man. I don't know. Motorcycle helmet. I remember that for sure in Udon Thani. No motorcycle helmet, no license. Here's 200 baht. Nothing big. Football jersey, that was big. That was, I think that was 100K. They caught me with football jerseys. And they were fake. And they wanted 400,000 baht, and I was like, no way, we can't do that. That's too much money. And then we got it down to 100,000, and I only had like 30 or 40,000 on me. You know, like I could get it from the ATM really quick. And then I had to go into the bank. I had to transfer some money, go into the bank the next morning, and they were waiting for me. If I didn't bring it in, they were gonna make a problem for me. So, you know, that was kind of a payoff. Pay to stay out of jail. That was a long time ago too. Yeah, I would have punched him if he did that. Fucking grab me because I don't want to buy his gloves. That's bullshit. Especially in Mamung Krong. They know. This is what I was saying the other day. You don't see Thais grabbing other Thais most of the time. They don't touch them. They don't grab them. They know off limits. But in places where foreigners go, and in the tourist areas, and Mamung Krong has a fair number of tourists most of the time, they feel like they can touch you. And I fucking can't stand it when they touch me, because my initial reaction, I mean, as soon as somebody grabs me, or you know, like if they touch me, not like a little tap on the shoulder, you know, but if they grab you, you know, who the fuck are you and why are you grabbing me? Get a card in your wallet. A card? What do you mean a card? I have a couple of cards from immigration. The head of immigration, a couple guys, the head guy, and like the number 3 guy, and then there's some lady, and I've got them laminated just in case. But you know, at this point, I don't really. You're not gonna get kicked out of Thailand for that. If he grabbed you first, you're not gonna. It's gonna be your word against his. Although, you know, they could look at the footage. If there's footage, video footage, they can look at the video footage and see, hey, he grabbed me. You know. Jesus Christ. Avoid, avoid, avoid. I was talking to my mother about this. And I've talked about it online here. You know, when you see one and every single picture of her is of her, hey, look at me. Look at me now. Look at me now. Oh, hey. You have 500 different pictures and they're all of, you know, you moved your head 2 centimeters. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. And I think at the end of the month, the Twitter is going to be deactivated. I don't get enough play from Twitter to make it worth my while. I really want to deactivate Facebook, but, you know, I got, I don't know how many, close to 2,800. Compete, listen, you know, if you got it going on, you ain't got to worry about it. Compete. What about guys? Guys don't have to compete with each other? Listen, guys got to compete more than the women. Women, let's face it, you know, if they look halfway decent, guys know what they got. Guys want it. You know? With men, it's like, hey, I can get any guy to screw me. You know? No funny, Mr. Gennaro. That's no funny. Competition. Fuck, if we all competed with each other, nobody would ever get laid. You know, only the cream of the crop, only the guys who are multimillionaires will be getting laid. That's why, you know, you look at some of the girls, you know, the guys who are the multimillionaires, multi-billionaires, you think they're screwing some chick who works at Schmegdonald's? You know? No, probably not. You know, she's selling fruit on the street. Don't think that happens very often. Hopefully they're all cleavage shut. Yeah, I knew that would come out of your mouth. That is an irritant when people are grabbing you or touching you on the street and you don't know, because you know you're on the street, man. Even if you're in Mamung Krong, if you're in a mall and somebody does it, it's like, whoa, hey, what's the deal? Yeah, selling coconuts. They're a coconut girl. You know, Gennaro, for all we know, he's a multimillionaire. He loves him, that coconut girl. He loves him some Preo. I guess. I think with guys, they're constantly obsessing about getting it in. You know, younger guys. Older guys realize, you know, once you're done, it's like, you know, if she ain't got something special, then, you know, it's a dime a dozen. Vaginas are overrated. Oh, man, I can't believe I said that. They're overrated. Think about it. I forget, what's that one where the guy says something like, what was it? It was, you want a car, you want gold, you want diamonds, you want this, you want that. And in return, I get like, I get a beat up, used vagina, something like that. RCS? What's RCS? I like to take all night to do what I used to do all night. Although they want a man to take care of them. I think when you say they want a man to take care of them, I think it depends on the woman and it depends on how she wants him to take care of her. Some just want a good pounding. You know, they want a guy to do them right. Some want him to take care of them like, you know, their mother is ill and they work at Starbucks and they don't have enough money and, you know, they need help financially or whatever. You know, I think, you know, most relationships, they tend to be beneficial to one another in some way, you know. Let's go visit Coconut Girl. No, we're not going to go visit Coconut Girl. I got shit to do here. Across the street, she may not even be there yet because it's, what time is it? It's got to be 11:10 or something like that. She may not even be there yet. Truth, the Asian way is the children to, yes, that's true. Most of the time they do. Although I know, you know, the thing is again, when you say take care of them, it may not necessarily be financially, because I see a lot of really, you know, and I know a few wealthy families, Thai families, where the kids don't need their money. But when it comes to like, does the grandmother need like, you know, the kid to wheel him around in a wheelchair or take him to the hospital or something like that? Well, they need to be taken care of that way. Well, where's the benefit to you? I mean, if there's no benefit, what are you with her for? If she doesn't make you laugh if she doesn't make you laugh, she doesn't do it for you, what are you with her for? If she's not your best friend or whatever, you know. If she don't love you too much, you know. See, there's nobody really in here anymore. Everybody's pretty much gone. You know, I did that just to elicit a response from you, Gennaro. That's all it takes. A little bit of flesh. I can be a sugarcane daddy. That's about it. I'll be the fruit coast daddy. I'll give you your 2 minutes of joy, Gennaro, or anybody else. I'll give you your little joy that you might get from this. That's all I'm gonna say. I have to say something. I admit it. Okay, I admit. I am slightly embarrassed at what my live streams and my channel has become. You know, like in the old days, you know, you and your buddy might talk about how, ooh, yeah, man, that girl, she's got great legs or something like that. Now it's like, it's out there. And it's like, all the world can see it. And guess what? An American in Bangkok, that perverted little bastard, that's what he does on his channel. He makes a few bucks from showing some flesh. Dirty bastard. There is part of me that actually believes that. Like, what the hell am I doing? It's one thing, you know, if you're out on like Lake Havasu or something, and the girls are riding around on a little boat, and you go by on your jet ski, and they're screaming and yelling at you to go, show your tits! And they actually take their tops off. Okay, I can understand doing that. But, you know, who was I talking to the other day about this? Well, Robert, I was talking to him about it, but there was somebody else. It's like half the time, oh, well, Longhorns also, half the time, if you had lived here for a couple of years, you wouldn't even consider some of these women. You'd be like, what am I? No way. But because it's a visual, hey, she looks awesome. You know, then when she opens up her mouth, she sounds like, you know, Blackbeard the Pirate or something. But that's okay, because she's got big tits and long legs. What have I become? Do 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 do. Then they'll think only, yeah, I know, but they know that you are they know that you are equally perverted, or you wouldn't be on this. You wouldn't be on this stream, and you wouldn't be on this. You wouldn't be associated with me. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, well, unfortunately, and I hate to break it to you, but all you guys out there who are like, oh, all I want to do is go and have some fun. No, I'm not getting involved with them. Fuck that. Listen, I'm MGTOW. I'm going my own way. I don't need them. Screw them. Yeah, and then the right one comes along, and there you are, just like a little fish with the hook set, and you're like, oh, baby, what do you want? What can I do for you, sweetheart? All of a sudden, she's sweetheart. MGTOW, what's that? I don't remember. And you don't see Thai, most Thai guys are not kissing their asses. I'll let you have your fun. You find the one that's a good fit. That's what you do. And I mean that literally and figuratively. All right, Johnny, take it easy, huh? Need to feed the wife. She's probably over there going, can you stop chatting on there? Let's get out of here. I want to go get something to eat. Let's get the hell out of here. Hell hath no fury like a woman that's hungry. We can wait a second. We got a few minutes left. We got a few minutes left of this 2-hour stream that I didn't intend on doing. Look at this fucking guy. Got the whole fucking place open. Look at this. You got the whole place. Most Thais don't want to sit next to me. But yet, when the whole fucking room is open, somebody wants to sit right next to me. You see the little green label? It says social distancing. Fucking chucklehead. I think we just focus on the women. It'll keep you guys happy. I told you, like lately, the what do you call it? The demographics have showed. The demographics have showed that the majority of viewers come from the age group of, I think it was 45 to 54, with a little bit less of a percentage from 55 to 64, and like 100% men, or depends on when, 100%, but anywhere from 5% to 10% women. But most of the time it's hovering around 4 or 5%. But in the last couple of weeks, it's been 0%. So you guys have scared them all off. They're deathly afraid of you. Because, you know, me, I'm very sweet to all of them. Ladies, don't be shy. You can talk about these things too. You can call, you know, Gennaro a barista hoe. You know, you can call us all misogynists because I don't think anybody really cares here. Yeah, you see, that's okay. You see, there it is. There, this fucking guy. There you go, Gennaro, right there. There you go. That's for you, buddy. Here's what I'm gonna say. I love people. I'm a people person. I am a people person. Say goodbye, Gennaro. She's out of here. You still have the girl at the counter. All right, Gennaro, no problem. Oh, she's precious. Comes in and just disrupts everything. And you know, everybody has the right to sit where they want, but when it comes down to this, he doesn't have a fucking mask on. He's fucking sitting right next to me. You got the whole fucking place open. That fucking just irritates me. Fucking chucklehead. But I don't want to be a Karen. What's the male version of a Karen? A Charles or something like that? I forget what it is. No, come on. That's just the grumpy old man in me. He's probably a nice guy. Just like me, you know? We're talking over here. He's oblivious, man. Oblivious. And that's what it's not intentional. I don't have one in the chamber. Listen, ever since I started eating that food, you know, aside from when I wake up, I'm low on bullets. No, they don't. I don't remember that. I remember, you know, the Joe DiMaggio thing, but I don't remember how it went. You know. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Let's keep it classy here. What is it? Didn't Ron, I was going to say Ron Jeremy. What the hell? Ron Burgundy. Isn't he the one who said that? Keep it classy, LA, or some shit like that? Dude. Fucking oblivious. Excuse me. Hey, Chief. There we go. God, fucking guys. I guess if I did that in the United States, I'd probably be shot. But we're not in the United States, are we? All right, now he's keeping it down. It's all right. but the volume kept going up. Thank you. It's just like when they get in front of you. It's just like when they get in front of you at 7-Eleven. Some of them, they just kind of walk right. They're like zombies sometimes. They just, and you're like, hey. Do you see the queue here? There's 4 people in line, and you just walk right up like, oh, I'm going to pay for everything. Yeah, get your ass to the back of the line. That happens here. And, usually, the thing is usually if you're nice about it. Now, if I really wanted to be an asshole, I would have yelled at the guy or something like that. But, it's better you just kind of like, the little giddy up. Yeah, what's your problem? My problem is that you're being a loud, obnoxious asshole. And I own this place, and here you are talking shit. Oh, the worst is in front of the elevator. Or the escalator. In the escalator. You go to the escalator and all standing there having a talk. They're debating, the price of tea in China. And you're like, excuse me, can I get through? Huh? These are exaggerations, by the way, in case you don't know. It's not that bad, but it's what it is that when you're in, a certain mode, like I got to go here, I'm going there, and you got the tunnel vision, and then all of a sudden you got some guy standing there in front of the escalator. He's looking at his phone, playing fucking Pac-Man or whatever, their Farmville, and he's sitting there looking at his phone, and you're like, hey, this is the escalator. Could you move your ass, please? Here they don't get pissed off. Oh, sorry. They realize. So in that sense, it beats the U.S. By the way, I want to give a shout out not only to Mr. Johnny Siam. Thank you for today's super chat, the one and only. But thank you to Mr. Bilal, as always. And I want to give a shout out to Fidelity, who we haven't seen in a while. He's got his own things going on, I'm sure. Yeah. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me. It's been fun. It's been grand. Shopping vagin often stop and block me out. Well, you know what gets me? And yesterday this happened. I was walking across the overpass, and there was this elderly woman. And this is the thing. I'm using the word elderly. I am elderly. There's two things that bug me, and then I'm going to leave. I'm walking along, and this didn't really bother me because she's old. She was like 75, 80. She's walking along, and she's taking her sweet-ass time. Now, there's enough room where 2 people can go and walk the one way, and then on the other side, 2 people can walk coming back. She's in the middle, standing there, and, she was wide enough to where you can't get by on either side. So, and she's moving like a turtle. So I'm standing there trying to get by. There's somebody behind me. They want to get, and they're like, "Excuse me." I'm like, "Where the fuck do you want me to go?" I'm like, "Where do you want me to go? I can't get by her, And then behind that person, there's somebody. We're all waiting for this, this elderly woman. That kind of, that can be a bit frustrating at times. But what really irritates me, and I don't know anybody who's in Thailand, if you go into a grocery and you see this, you'll know what I'm talking about. They have the particular lanes for the elderly, the disabled, and the pregnant. Yes, I'm trying to be nice. The elderly, the disabled, and the pregnant. You go in there, and there's some 25-year-old girl standing there. There's nothing wrong with her. She's there with her girlfriend. Then they got a couple friends behind them, and you're like, "Hey, don't you go to one of the other lanes? This is for us fucking old people. I want to say that sometime. If I'm old in your country, then God damn it, give me the courtesy. And then you go onto the SkyTrain or something, and you got some fucking 15, 20-year-old girl sitting there where it's reserved for old people. And, you know, maybe I'm walking along and my hip hurts or something. I'm like, shit, I could use a seat. There's no seats. And I'm like, I'm standing right in front of some little girl, and she's like sitting there playing fucking Farmville. And I'm like, maybe you could get your little ass up because I'm old and you're not. No, that's not going to happen. And I'll never say anything. I don't know. Not generally, no. But there are, you know, like seniors can go to a particular lane. But, you know, it always seems like there's a bunch of young people. That can be a bit frustrating. But, you know, you don't let it get to you because this is Thailand. I'm so happy. It makes me laugh. At the moment, I'm kind of like, God damn it. You know, I'm like, what am I going to do? Tell the kids, hey, what the fuck? I'd like to go, hey, honey, what the fuck? You know, like, you're like not even out of high school. It's, can't you fucking read? I'd like to say that, but I will never do that because I'm a polite gentleman. But, you know, in my head, I'm thinking, this is the thing. Just like in the book, when I wrote the book, and I'm saying, I'd like to kick her between the legs because she's talking so loud. I like to walk up and give her a boot. But I would never, ever do that or say that because it's inappropriate. It's not socially acceptable. Now, if it was socially acceptable, I'd probably do it. You know. And I thought, what would go into the manager saying, hey, listen, why is it that every time I go to the elderly lane, there's always a bunch of teenagers that are standing there, you know, they want to buy like 3 lollipops or something. But then I think to myself, I don't want to be a Karen. I really want to know, what is the male version of a Karen? All right, now I'm going to have to jump on beer and tell her she's getting too loud. I don't know how that came out, but Gennaro, you can have one last look. She's looking at you, Gennaro. She's giving it to you, Gennaro. She's saying, look at me. Oh, here comes the boss. Shh, don't say too much. Now, that would have been construed as sexual harassment in the United States. Okay, remember the guy said the other day, he said something about Baskin Robbins or Swenson girls? Here you go. I think this is Baskin Robbins, the one in the red. That's a Baskin Robbins chick. I know this because they walk by all the time. Yeah, well, what about porn? Hi, my name is Porn. Hi, my name is Fat. You know, her nickname is Owen, and she's skinny. Or my name is Turtle. You know, something like that, you know. They do have some funny names. Nickname Diamond. Nickname Benz. Nickname Supercharge. Nickname, listen, you know, when you have the fighters, their names are usually the sponsors. You know, like Joey Red Bull. Joey Red Bull. You know, something like that. My name's Superpower. Knit Superpower. It helps to laugh. Although, you know, listen, in the United States, they ain't doing much better with, you know, getting named like Rufus. You know, hey, my name's Rufus McGillicuddy. You know, Rainbow, that's a good one. I always thought the best one was porn, though. Porn and Ewan. You know, fat. Hi, my name is Fat. Nice to meet you. But you're not fat. Unbelievable. You come here long enough, you stay here long enough, you see it all. You see, you know, a group of 10 people standing in front of the elevator just having a freaking college debate. You go outside, you see a motorcycle go by with 2 propane gas tanks on the back, 2 babies, the mother, the older daughter, and a basket of chickens, and the driver. And then you're like, oh, that's normal. That's Thailand. That's the beauty of Thailand, you know? If you go down by Klong Tui, where I will go in the next month or so, it never ceases to amaze me because I'll see some guy in a motorcycle drive up and he'll have like 10 crates of chicken. They're chickens, you know, live chickens. And they're all like strapped together on the back of his motorcycle, and somehow this guy's able to finagle it through some narrow little alleyway. And the chickens are moving around, you know. Yeah. That's one of the beauties, for sure. I mean, you know, the people are generally, you know, they put on a happy face. They're not real down, although, you know, I guess it depends on where you go. You know, sometimes you meet the one and they're like, Wangai ka. You know, like usually it's the older ladies are like, what the fuck do you want? I'm going to help you because I want your money, but what the fuck do you want? You know, you get that every once in a while. Anyway, the stream has run its course. Thank you very much to everybody. Don't forget about the shirts and the mugs, the merch. Use the code Hooters. You get 10% off now through the end of the month. You know, get it for a Christmas present. You know, we got the Bar Girl Lives Matter. We got the I Got a Letter. We got the mugs, you know. We got my favorite. And I am getting ready to get some new shirts. I should have them in a few weeks, hopefully before Christmas. Give myself a Christmas present. You know, I don't hate people. I just prefer when they're not around. I love that shirt. And I'm going to get a little American in Bangkok shirt that has just the little logo over a pocket. I want to do that too. Anyway, so, you know, it's all there in the description. Everything's in the description. Gennaro, if you want, I'll go get beer to say goodbye to you. Thank you very much, Ray. Anything else you want? The books? Use the Amazon link, whatever. Click thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already. But leave a thumbs up. Bye to me, Mr. Longhorns. Have you watched your daily Bonanza or Gunsmoke or Big Valley? Have you watched one of those shows today? I'd be surprised if you haven't. And when are you taking off? Soon? Because Thanksgiving is coming. Or are you? Gunsmoke is on now. I have tried to become a Patreon, had issues. Oh, I don't know. If you want some help, Steve, let me know. I'll help you out if I can. Even contact Patreon, because, you know, Patreon has its share of glitches here and there. But one of the things, listen, Nicholas just ordered a pair of headphones for me. They're cheap, but they're supposedly very good. He's got them. He loves them. He just got them. And so I told him to order me some, and he's going to. So I'd like to start doing something like once a week where we have somebody come on and talk. So I know Soy Dog Cowboy is always game. Maybe Mr. Steve is game. Maybe Mr. Longhorns is game. Even, you know, you don't have to show your lovely faces. We don't want the girls getting too excited coming on and, you know, going crazy. So if you just want audio, you can talk sexy to them. Do the old, what is it? ASMR, I think it's called. Never, you see? You'll be in a video, but you won't let somebody hear your voice. You never know, man. The girls might think, you know, you have a sexy voice. It's a come hither voice. I don't know. Anyway, let me know if you're interested in that. Leave a comment. Okay, cool. And by the way, if you haven't seen, I just put up a little clip of the girl in the red panties. Got my Vimeo account squared away. Can you make my voice like the Chipmunks? Probably. I can find a way. You know. What the hell was I saying? Oh, Vimeo. So I'm going to go through today. There's two live streams that I want to go through, and I'm going to see, can I upload some of it to Vimeo where they don't lock the account down or anything like that. You know, some from Hooters. We don't really want to hear the girl speaking that much. I know there's some guys, they just want to see her walk away. But then there's the one where we were in Pattaya driving around and, you know, all that good fun. YouTube is out of control when it comes to the music and the copyrights and stuff like that. So you got to be very careful nowadays. But anyway, that's all I got. That's all I have. Proper English is not, that's all I got. Come on, respect the women here. You mean in Vietnam? Well, you know, she did the walk away, and, you know, some of the men were impressed by her assets. Of course, me, I wasn't even looking, so that's why I didn't know about it. But for the YouTube members and the members of my website and Patreon, the girl in the red panties is already back up. She's up there showing her wares, her rough wares. Well, it'll go back up. I'll make sure you see it. All right? So, maybe that's all I got. That's all I have. Until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok, Mr. Bangkokonian. Until next time, choke the jerk and my and all that good stuff, all right? Jerk and the gherkin. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Everybody, stay safe. Mask up if you have to. Keep pushing for that vaccine and that stimulus bill. Don't know why the hell, you know, I'm saying goodbye. I don't have any idea what the hell these people are thinking about, because I'm sure there are a lot of pissed off people right now. Stop giving the airlines and banks all the money and start giving some of the people the money, you know? Anyway, talk to you guys later.